All right, viewers, welcome to our next installment of Aspen Uprooted. We are on episode 5, and if you'll notice, we now have new swag Aspen Uprooted shirts. These are available to our viewers. If you'd like to purchase them, they are $20. You can support our podcast, but what's awesome about that, for $20, 100% of the proceeds will go to local charities here in the Rapid City community. So if you'd like to get one of these, support the podcast, and support local charities, just come into one of the branches and let us know your size, and we will get one to you. And yeah, you can rep us around the community. We'd love it. We have an amazing guest with us today on the podcast, Aaron.
What are we doing, guys?
Good.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course, Aaron. Thank you for being on.
Throwing a point in the last name.
Madson.
Doctor.
Doctor. Hello, Doctor. Dr. Evil. Aaron Madson, Dr. Madson, Heartland Health and Wellness, Doctor of Chiropractic.
Yep.
Thank you. Sorry. We go way back in it.
Again, it's the old friend and new friend. I'm just glad you called me Aaron versus what you called me an hour ago.
Yeah. Late for dinner.
Yeah.
Aaron, thanks for being on. Dr. Madson, we appreciate you being here. We're going to be getting to know you, your business, what brought you to the area, your childhood, your deepest, darkest secrets. No, just kidding. We won't go that low, boys.
Got my pen in case you need to make notes. You know? Oh, yes.
But to get us started, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and background, what got you into chiropractic?
Sure.
All that good stuff.
Yep. So my name is Aaron Madson. I'm a chiropractor at Heartland Health Wellness. I moved to Rapid City with my now wife towards the end of 2020. At the beginning of 2020, I moved to the hills up to Sturgis when I did my residency up at the VA clinic out there at Fort Meade. So I'm originally from Southwest Minnesota, kind of around the Marshall area. Went to high school down there, grew up on a farm down there, and then went to chiropractic school in eastern Iowa in the Quad Cities at Palmer College of Chiropractic, and then had the opportunity to come out to the VA. I was one of 16 students that got selected to go through the VA system as a chiropractic student. So it was an awesome experience to be up there and co-treat along with physical therapists, occupational therapists, and neurologists. And then my wife, she's a physical therapist here in town, and she got hired on at Monument, so we stayed. And I thought, hey, now's the time to let her rip, fulfill my dream of running my own business, running my own clinic, and we've been rocking and rolling ever since.
Very cool. So 2 doctors in the family.
Yep.
So being from Southwest Minnesota, are you a Gophers fan or a Hawkeyes fan?
I am a Nebraska fan.
I
bleed red. I bleed red. Yes, right there.
Just had to bust your chops.
Yeah.
Couldn't help it.
Yeah. Well, and I want to, so I just got to say my uncle was the mascot for the Kansas State Wildcats, which I believe are sworn enemies of the Cornhuskers. So he was the mascot for the football team from 95 to 99.
No way.
Wildcat, yep.
That's wild.
Yeah. So there's quite a few videos that we have of him like tackling, the mascot or whatever. So, but yeah, when I saw that, I had to smile. I was like, sworn enemies, we can't have him on the podcast.
Well, my uncle's from Valentine, Nebraska, and so we grew up Saturday mornings watching him play. And I have 2 cousins that graduated from UNL, and so I got this one when we went to my younger cousin's graduation there at Pinnacle Bank. So I have a good reason to be a Nebraska fan.
Of course.
Well, they're a good team.
So when you worked on, so I have it in our notes here that you actually worked on, so I think you mentioned you worked on a farm while you're in Minnesota.
Yep.
You mentioned that kind of taught you a unique perspective on life. You want to share with what that kind of taught you about life in general?
Yeah, so I kind of started helping out on the tail end of the transition from dairy farm to more of a row crop and beef cattle farm, which dairy farmers have to be milking twice a day. It doesn't matter if it's rain, snow, 100 degrees, negative 20, the cow's still milking milk. So just the mundane things you have to do with precision every single time, whether you want to do it or not. So that was a valuable lesson that I learned from working with animals, dairy cows especially. And the other thing too, working with row crop and with cattle, is that there's always something to do. The seasons change, but the jobs never stop. And just kind of keeping that habit into business has helped me tremendously. There's always something to do. There's always social media to post. There's always floors to be swept. I kind of like to say. So there's always something to be done. So
we're watching a show on Amazon right now that it's really opened my eyes to how much work farmers have to do. It's Clarkson's Farm.
Oh, sure. Yep.
Yeah. And so I have a new appreciation for what farmers go through. So I can see where that would give you a really good work ethic doing that.
Yep.
You know, so absolutely, I get that.
I love his range. Everybody's yelling at him.
Yeah.
You idiot!
Oh, that one's a good one. I love that show.
So, what is the most unexpected piece of advice that you've ever received?
Kind of on the chiropractic side of things, the most unexpected piece of advice I got was the best adjustment that you give is the one that you don't. And that was in the context that was given me. If you're not completely certain of a bone that needs to be moved, the reason it needs to be moved, in the direction that it needs to be moved, or if there's a specific supplement that you aren't 100% certain needs to be given that patient, it's best to just wait and see. Because it's that one last thrust, it's that one more supplement that can sometimes take something that's trending in the right direction, all of a sudden come tumbling down and you're back to square zero or worse. So yeah, that was a piece of advice that I just kind of, after that was said to me, I just kind of sat there and mulled it over and like, that's a very interesting piece of advice. And it has held true for me in my practice, both private practice and up at the VA.
Yeah. I think our listeners will like hearing that because they know that, you know, you're not going to just do something to charge them. You're going to do it only if it's good for them. You know, that's one of those doctors that says, "Yep, I'm going to give you a prescription for this," even though you don't really need it. But,
right. I like to take the less is more approach. Like let's add in one thing at a time, and let's take things a little bit slow to see what exactly the body needs.
Sure.
So
I'm in a referral group with Aaron, and I've known him at least 2 years, and I've never heard anyone give him a bad review. Everyone has rave reviews for Aaron, and it's pretty impressive. Over 2 years ago, I heard someone give him an outstanding review, and they said he adjusted their ear.
Yep.
And I didn't even know you could do that.
Yep.
Wow. Blew my mind.
Yep.
I haven't had it done yet, but one day I'm going to have him adjust my ear just so I can experience it.
It's one of the most bizarre feelings after we give that ear a little quick tug, and all of a sudden a bunch of stuff just starts draining down the back of the throat. Yeah. Yep.
Huh.
It's a game changer for a lot of people that just feel like fuzziness in their hearing, or for kids that have issues with like ear infections. It's a game changer for some of those people.
and so kind of in connection with that, so there might be some of our listeners who think that the only type of people who need chiropractic services are ones who do like physically demanding jobs. So construction, moving companies, warehouse. But for someone like me or Miles who work in an office setting, is there anything that would cause us to need to go see you? Is there any problems that are unique to our kind of type of work where we just sit?
Yeah, so like for the individuals that sit a lot, there's a lot of dysfunction that can happen in the low back that can put you at a higher risk for low back injuries. Kind of the use it or lose it principle with kind of those low back muscles. For a lot of times people are sitting for long periods of time, those muscles are getting turned off in the low back, and that protection that those muscles offer then isn't there for when we want to go out and build a deck on the weekends, or if we're trying to hook up the camper, going camping for the weekend, we try and lift something that we are thinking twice about. Those muscles are turned off and don't have that protection there. So kind of maintenance wise, that is huge. Another thing too that a lot of people in an office setting deal with is like carpal tunnel syndrome, or like numbness and tingling in the wrists and fingers. And there's actually 17 different places between the neck and the wrist where nerves can become entrapped. And if we're sitting at in the same position here the whole time, all day, it can really cause a lot of those entrapments to become problematic for a lot of people.
Yeah. So in other words, we do very dangerous work here. It can hurt us every day with risk for life.
Super thankless work, right?
Yep.
Or frontline work.
Essential.
Yep. Essential. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, that's a good breakdown.
Yeah.
So I know the school you went to for chiropractic medicine is a prestigious school.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about that. How did you get in that? And a little bit more about the school maybe.
Yeah, so Palmer College of Chiropractic is the oldest and largest chiropractic school in the world. 1/3 of all chiropractors in the world are Palmer grads. So it's located in Davenport, Iowa, in the Quad Cities, right on the border between Iowa and Illinois. And it's where chiropractic was, I don't know if invented is the right word, discovered, I think might be a better word. So the way the legend goes is that D.D. Palmer, the founder of chiropractic, he was in his office studying anatomy, and one of the janitors of the building he was in was having issues hearing out of his right ear. And so D.D. Palmer called him up to his office, and it said that he found a large protrusion coming from the middle of the lower part of the neck. And so he had him lay on his stomach and gave a quick, swift thrust to the bone. And he said there was a loud, audible pop. And all of a sudden the guy gets up off the table and you can hear out of his right ear. So just absolutely wild story. And so that kind of led down the chiropractic profession. D.D. Palmer had a son named B.J. Palmer. And he kind of brought chiropractic a little bit more mainstream for people, especially around like the Spanish flu, the Spanish influenza era. And then he had a son, Dr. David Palmer, who got Palmer College of Chiropractic basically accredited with the powers that be for our education system to make it a legit chiropractic college. So,
Yeah. I'm really thankful we can break that guy's neck.
I'm very thankful we didn't break that guy's neck.
Nice.
So where do you see technology being in your field in the near future? Do you guys see a lot of growth in that, changes?
Yeah, I think that the technology aspect of things is really interesting in our profession, especially with how powerful AI is. We're starting to learn and the capabilities that it has. I think that a lot of docs are going to use that as more of a tool to help the flow of their clinic. Rather than, I don't think that technology is going to necessarily take away from the art of chiropractic adjustment, because there are certain things that a human is going to be able to feel that a machine won't. So I think for a lot of, especially a lot of like blue collar jobs, trades jobs, and technology isn't going to take any of those jobs away anytime soon. I think chiropractic is kind of in that realm too. I do see the technology starting to take over for some of the receptionist roles, maybe more of the office manager roles, rather than having a human answer the phone, having an automated receptionist or something along those lines. But kind of more, I see it having more of an effect on the back end of things rather than the actual like delivery of adjustments.
Sure.
Now, we've been talking a lot about chiropractic, but a big part of your business is the health and wellness side of things. You want to go into that a little bit and talk about how you help people with blood and other types of those tests?
Yeah, so one thing that we've started in our clinic about 1.5 years ago has been doing blood work, stool samples, and hormone analysis for people that really don't have really great answers of why they feel the things that they feel, whether it's things like hot flashes, brain fog, hormonal imbalances, or difficulty losing weight, a thyroid issue that just has continually gotten worse, not gotten better, or gut health issues, bloating, Crohn's disease, those kind of things, and being able to identify processes that aren't happening efficiently or maybe aren't happening at all in the body, and fixing those on a more natural, holistic way with supplements and herbs. So that's something that we've added in, like I said, about a year ago, and we've just changed so many lives with that stuff.
So on your website, speaking of the holistic approach that you guys take, you talk about saying you are what you eat.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about that saying? Do you think there's truth to that?
Absolutely. We've seen people completely reverse autoimmune conditions by eliminating foods that they're sensitive to, by changing their diet habits and the foods that they eat, the fluids that they drink. We've reversed type 2 diabetes by making dietary changes and giving the body the building blocks that it needs to fix the things that are going wrong in it. And so it's absolutely, I think I put that statement up right when I opened up in late 2020, and I couldn't stand by that statement any more than where I do today.
Yeah, that's why I look like a quarter pounder with cheese.
That's it. Something you could just state that.
Hello.
So what do you find is the most rewarding yet challenging part of your job?
I think the most rewarding part of what I get to do is tell people that there is another option for them. A lot of people that are coming to see me in my clinic, especially on the functional medicine side of things, the individualized testing side of things, they have nowhere to turn. They've been going to doctors for months, sometimes years, and they haven't gotten any answers, or they continue to get worse. And we do whatever testing that their body needs based off of the things that they're experiencing. And we say, these are the things that aren't happening in your body, and this is what we're going to do to fix it. And people come in just thankful that we have a direction that we're going in. And obviously, there's part of where they need to execute on the supplementation schedule, the dietary changes to accomplish some of those things. But just knowing, for people to know that they have somebody in their corner saying there is another way. If you don't want to take this medication the rest of your life, you don't have to. You can change this, this, and this, fix this in your body, and you're going to be able to take care of your health naturally. It's a game changer for a lot of people.
I know you've had a lot of success stories. I've heard several of them. Is there one that stands out to you that you want to share briefly with us that just was over the top or really touched you or was just incredible?
Oh, I don't know if there's one that jumps off the page or right off the top of my head right now. It was my own health story that is what got me interested in doing this type of supplementation, this type of work. Opening a new business is stressful. There's a lot to do. There's a lot going on. And I started to feel it start to take a toll on my own health. And so I have a family history of thyroid issues, and I had kind of started to feel a lot of fatigue. Motivation was low. I'd have my to-do list of things to do and had no motivation to do it. And I just thought to myself, there's something wrong here. What's going on? And so I did my own blood work and came to find out that I've got an autoimmune condition of the thyroid, Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And so I started working on myself with supplements and herbs, and have now almost completely reversed it. And I've seen how much it has helped me, my cognition, my energy levels, my mood, and just my entire life. And I thought to myself, there's got to be more people that are looking for this too, and there are. So there's not one story that is the most profound, but I just really look forward to the next person that comes in with no hope for me to say, hey, we have a plan. Let's get you healthy.
Absolutely. And if I remember right, you say you started your business early, like 2020, 2021?
Yep, late 2020, early 2021.
So you talk about it's difficult to start your business during normal times, but you started yours up just as COVID was kicking off.
Just as COVID was kicking off.
Did that really affect you? And is there some ways that affected you, trying to do that?
There was. Getting like the whole business process started. Articles of organization and kind of like laying the groundwork was all done virtually, and so that was just a little bit strange for me because I'm a people guy. I like meeting face to face. I like talking on the phone rather than text. But that was different for me. But I think that there, especially in our area, there were a lot of people that started to change their mentality about health and wellness and thinking like, hey, there's got to be things that I can do on my own to take care of my own health, and that's exactly what happened. So,
well, where do you see your business going in the future? How would you like to grow, expand, scale?
I think I'd like to see my business grow, especially in the testing side of things. The results that we've been able to get with the gut health, hormone optimization, thyroid analysis is just amazing to me. I'm literally amazed every single day at the results that we're getting, the retests that we're getting in, things that we're changing in people's lives. And so for the people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired and don't have answers, those are the people that we help the most, because we're able to identify exactly what processes aren't happening in the body and then give supplementations and herbs to correct those things.
How big is your office? Just you and?
Yep, so it's me and we have 2 front desk staff and then a part-time phlebotomist that we're able to draw blood right in our clinic.
So very cool. If you're afraid of needles, I've been told that he has the best phlebotomist in town, painless.
That has been said. That has been said.
Yeah, I don't like needles, so that would be a draw for me.
Me neither. Yeah. No.
Can't look at them when they're doing the second one.
Yep. I'm right there with you. It's like, yeah. Oh, okay. Yep. Turn away. We're done. Perfect.
Okay. Any plans to expand to bring on physical therapy? Anything like that?
Probably not physical therapy. There's a lot of really great PT clinics in town, and being married to a PT, I've realized that there's a lot more being a PT than what they teach us in chiropractic school. So there are a few things that I feel comfortable with seeing in my clinic, but I'm also not opposed to sending people to the profession that they need to be seeing. So anything more than certain little stretches, exercises that I kind of give on a routine basis, I say you don't belong here. You belong in a PT clinic. Let me send you a referral out for you. So.
Well, that's all I had for you, Aaron. You answered those questions amazingly. Very passionate, we can tell. So.
Yeah, he definitely cares about people. So what is the ideal client for you?
The ideal client, the ideal patient for me would probably be somebody, like I said earlier, who is sick and tired of being sick and tired. They are ready to take their health back naturally and are looking for somebody to give them that roadmap on how to take control of their health again. And Dan, like you said, it's you are what you eat, but there's a lot of information out there on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook on what you should be eating, what you shouldn't be eating, what are good foods, what are bad foods, and there's so much information you don't know what to believe.
Sure.
So we're able to test the blood to see what foods your body is able to tolerate, what it isn't able to tolerate. based off of what conditions we may have going on, what symptoms we're experiencing. We can give it even a little bit more finer direction for that. But people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired and are ready to take control of their health.
Fantastic.
Well, I'm sorry, I did lie. So I just that made me think of a question. So you're talking about about food again. So is there a food in your opinion that's underrated for its health benefits?
Beef, 100% beef. Absolutely. It is the most nutrient dense food that we can possibly eat is beef. We have such excellent access to some of the best quality beef in the world in our area. The local ranchers do such an amazing job of raising good quality beef. It's the highest source of iron, highest source of selenium, highest source of protein. It's the most nutrient dense way to get all of the amino acids and the nutrients that your body needs is located in beef. So and for all the food sensitivity testing that we do in our clinic, I have yet to have somebody be sensitive for beef. And so I tell people, hey, eat all the red meat that you want, baby.
So I can't help but smile during that answer because I like ribeyes.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite things.
Yep.
A quarter pounder you ate. It's actually not that bad.
Well, that one is probably
Yes, that was bad.
by USDA South Dakota beef, I would say.
Yep. And don't blame the beef for what the bun did to it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the message is not McDonald's. It's
it's South Dakota beef.
Yep,
is what
yes.
we want.
South Dakota beef is what we want.
Those old ladies from the 80s, where's the beef?
Yep.
They were right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
awesome. You'll hold on to that. You said, honey, steak every night.
Steak every night, baby. Yep. Absolutely.
Dan's going to need a raise.
Yep.
Or he'll get gout.
Oh.
As a testimonial of Dr. Madson, I would trust my mother with him, and she does go to him, and has great things to say about his services. So, yeah, absolutely. Well, Dr. Madson, thank you for being on our show.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
I've watched every podcast that you guys have had on, and this is really awesome that you guys are doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you for being a viewer. For our viewers, how can they get a hold of you if they want to reach out to you to employ your services, to come see you, to get their health checked out and get adjusted?
Yep. So website is heartlandhhw.com. Email address heartlandhhw@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook and Instagram. We're posting reels, shorts, little posts, informational stuff, case studies, testimonials on there all the time. So if you're looking for some good quality, more information on social media, give us a like and a follow on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on. And for Aspen Uprooted viewers, we are now on Amazon, Spotify, and YouTube, of course. So like, follow, subscribe, and keep viewing, watching, listening.
He's rolling it.
Yeah. Thank you again, Aaron.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.